Hello everyone. Today we will learn some basic knowledge about the Indian Penal Code through some MCQs. So without wasting any time, let's start with it. The first question is, what does an animal denotes? Options are A. Any living creature including human being. B. Any living creature other than a human being. C. Any creature whether it is dead or alive. Or D. Either A or C. The correct answer to this question is option B. That is, animal denotes any living creature other than a human being. The next question is, how many types of punishment have been prescribed under the Indian Penal Code? The options are A 3 types of punishments, B 6 types of punishment, C 5 types of punishment, or D 4 types of punishment. The correct answer to this question is option C. That is, there are 5 types of punishment that has been prescribed under the Indian Penal Code. These punishments are death, imprisonment for life, imprisonment whether simple or rigorous, fourth, fine, and fifth is forfeiture of property. The next question is, under section 60 of the IPC, in certain cases of imprisonment, the sentence of the imprisonment has to be how much? The options are A has to be wholly rigorous, B has to be wholly simple, C can be partly rigorous and partly simple, or D either A or B. The correct answer to this question is option C. That is, under section 60, in certain cases of imprisonment, the sentence of the imprisonment can be partly rigorous and partly simple. The next question is, sentence of imprisonment for non-payment of fine under section 64 of the IPC shall be how much? The options are A shall be in excess of any other imprisonment to which an offender has been sentenced, B shall be concurrent to any other imprisonment, C shall not be in excess to any other imprisonment, or D both B and C are correct. The correct answer to this question is option A. That is, the sentence of the imprisonment shall be in excess of any other imprisonment to which an offender has been sentenced. The next question is, under section 65 of the IPC, sentence of the imprisonment for non-payment of the fine shall be limited to how much? The options are A 1/3 of the maximum term of imprisonment fixed for the offence. Option B 1/4 of the maximum term of imprisonment fixed for the offence. Option C 1/2 of the maximum term of imprisonment fixed for the offence. And option D equal to the maximum term of imprisonment fixed for the offence. The correct answer to this question is option B. That is, under section 65, the sentence of imprisonment for non-payment of the fine shall be limited to 1/4 of the maximum term of imprisonment fixed for the offence. The next question is, in case of the offence punishable with fine only, the imprisonment for non-payment of fine shall be A has to be rigorous, B has to be simple, C can be rigorous or simple, or D can be partly rigorous or partly simple. The correct answer to this question is option B. That is, the imprisonment for non-payment of fine has to be simple. The next question is, under section 498A of the IPC, cruelty includes, options are A harassment of the woman, B physical cruelty only, C mental cruelty only, or D all of the above. The correct answer to this question is option D. That is, all of the above. That means harassment, physical cruelty, and mental cruelty denotes cruelty under section 498A of the IPC. Next question is, in case of the offence punishable with fine only, an offender who is sentenced to pay a fine of not exceeding rupees 100 but exceeding rupees 50, the imprisonment in default of payment of fine shall not exceed how much time? The options are A 2 months, B 3 months, C 4 months, or D 6 months? The correct answer to this question is option C, that is, the imprisonment in default of the payment of fine shall not exceed 4 months. The next question is, in case of the offence punishable with fine only, the offender who is sentenced to pay a fine exceeding Rs 100, the imprisonment in the default of payment of fine shall not exceed how much time duration? The options are A 1 year, B 6 months, C 4 months, or D 2 months. The correct answer to this question is option B, that is, the imprisonment on default of the payment of fine shall not exceed 6 months. The next question is, Section 64 of the IPC provides for what? The options are A. It provides for nature and the maximum limit of imprisonment for non-payment of fine. B. It provides for nature and the minimum limit of imprisonment for non-payment of fine. C. It provides for the nature but does not prescribe any limit for the imprisonment for the non-payment of fine. Or D. It prescribes for the limit of imprisonment for non-payment of fine but does not prescribe the nature of imprisonment. The correct answer to this question is option A, that is, Section 64 of the IPC provides for the nature and the maximum limit of imprisonment for non-payment of fine. The next question is, imprisonment for non-payment of fine shall terminate on what? The options are A, on payment of the fine, B, on expiry of the term of the imprisonment for non-payment, C, both A and B, D, neither A nor B. The correct answer to this question is option A, that is, the imprisonment shall terminate on the payment of fine. The next question is, in case of imprisonment for a non-payment of fine, if the part of the fine is paid, such sentence shall be dealt in what manner? The options are A, the sentence shall be reduced proportionately, B, the sentence shall not be reduced in a direct proportion to the fine paid, C, the sentence shall be reduced but subject to the discretion of the court as to the quantum of reduction, or D, all of the above. The correct answer to this question is the sentence shall be reduced proportionately, that is option E. The next question is, Section 73 of the IPC provides for the maximum limit of solitary confinement to be of how much time? The options are A, 1 year, B, 2 years, 3 months, or D, 6 months. The correct answer to this question is option C, that is, under Section 73 of the IPC, the maximum limit for solitary confinement is to be of 3 months. The next question is, if an offender has been sentenced to imprisonment not exceeding 6 months, the solitary confinement shall not exceed what period of time? The options are A, the solitary confinement shall not exceed 14 days, B, the solitary confinement shall not exceed 1 month, C, it shall not exceed 2 months, or D, it shall not exceed 45 days. The correct answer to this question is option A, that is, if an offender has been sentenced to imprisonment not exceeding 6 months, the solitary confinement shall not exceed 14 days. The next question is, if an offender is sentenced to imprisonment for a term exceeding 6 months but not exceeding 1 month, the term of solitary confinement shall be dealt in which manner? The options are A, the confinement or the solitary confinement shall not exceed 1 month, B, the solitary confinement shall not exceed 45 days, C, the solitary confinement shall not exceed 2 months, or D, it shall not exceed 3 months. The correct answer to this question is option D, that is, if an offender is sentenced to imprisonment for a term exceeding 6 months but not exceeding 1 year, the term of solitary confinement shall not exceed 3 months. Thank you for listening to this presentation carefully and attentively. Thank you.